How's it going, everyone? It is PC, and this is going to be my review of Everhood. And I would personally like to thank the publishers of this game, Foreign Gnomes, for sending me a review key for this game, because I've been looking forward to this game for quite some time now. I mean, looking at the style of the graphics and everything, that this game is heavily inspired by Undertale. Which, honestly, I thought that this was going to be a sequel to Undertale. But nope, it's made by a completely different developer, and it's actually made by two developers. It was made by Chris Nordgren and Jordi Roca. If I butcher your names, I'm really sorry, but those are the people that made this game. And it has a really killer soundtrack, which is also available on Steam. For $8.99, you can get the soundtrack plus the game bundled together for $17.08. If you want the standalone game, then it's just $9.99. And I'll just get straight to the point. Everhood is a fantastic game. Much like Undertale, it is a action-adventure game where you go around the overworld, interact with objects, interact with monsters, and of course, battle them. Yet the battle mechanics is a lot different from Undertale. In Undertale, it's more of a turn-based RPG style battle system with some elements from bullet hell games such as Toho, where you basically have to dodge the monster's attacks a la bullet hell style. Now in the case of Everhood, the battle style is in tune of that of musical rhythm games. You know, games such as Guitar Hero, Rock Band, Audio Surf, games such as that. Yet unfortunately, you don't get the chance to attack these monsters until much later in the game. So, in the early parts of the game, you'll mostly be dodging over the monster attacks, or you'll be jumping over them. Which it's all rhythm based, so if you're good at rhythm games, then chances are you will be able to manage through this game on the harder difficulties, which there are multiple difficulties in this game. There is, of course, story mode, which if you only care about the story, that's there. There's an easy mode and normal mode, which those modes automatically regenerate your health, yet still provide you a decent challenge. Then you have the more difficult modes, which do not regenerate your health, and of course they are a lot more difficult. Now, the good thing about this game is the fact that you can actually change the difficulty whenever you want. You don't have to start a new game to change the difficulty. You can go to your settings menu and be able to change the difficulty there if you need to. Which, I'll be honest with you guys, I suck at these type of games, these rhythm musical games. Even though I am a musician myself, I'm actually more of a harmony and melody guy than I am a rhythm guy. And also what doesn't help matters is the fact that I have ADHD, and I can't really focus that good. Which is my fault, obviously. It's not the developer's fault that I suck at these type of games. But I still wanted to give this game a chance, and I still enjoyed myself. There's a lot of things that I really enjoy about this game outside of the battle system. Like, for instance, the story is actually really good. In this game, you play as a puppet named Red, whose arms get stolen from him by the main antagonist, Gold Pig, which Red must now traverse through this strange world in hopes to find out where Gold Pig is and get his arms back. And that's initially the gist of the story. I don't really want to get into much further detail without spoiling the game for you, which I obviously don't want to do. So it's best that you guys try to get your hands on this game and experience it yourselves. Now, I will say that some of the themes of this game sort of tie in with Undertale's themes, except it's a lot more nuance, which the game doesn't even tell you if you are making the right choices or not. Whereas with Undertale, it will basically tell you that you are making the wrong decisions here, and everything is solely based on your actions in the game. Now, I don't know if that's the case here, because I've only did one playthrough of it, and that's so that way I could get this review out there quick, which I assume that this game does have multiple endings as well, and I'm just gonna leave it at that and let you guys experience it for yourselves, because the less I say about the story, the better it is for you to enjoy it. I should also mention that this game has sort of the same comedy style as Undertale, with all the fourth wall jokes, the intentional gags and puns, which if you weren't a fan of those from Undertale, then you wouldn't be a fan of those for this game, unfortunately. So it kind of really depends on the type of humor you're just into. As for the characters, they are as quirky and as zany as the characters in Undertale. My favorite character has to be the Nosferatu character, because he's a retro gamer, and he has a Super Nintendo! Yet my favorite moment by far in this game is when you get the chance to play D&D. And it's in this part of the game you actually learn to fight back by deflecting back the monster's attacks. Which in the D&D scenario, you can only deflect monsters' attacks if they are red. And this can be a bit challenging because you have to find an open space in order to hit the monster directly. Otherwise, you're just going to end up hitting another color and not the monster. But yeah, this sequence is by far my favorite aspect of this game. Another aspect I really enjoy about this game is the overall presentation. I mean, yeah, it does sort of have the Undertale style and look to it, yet it manages to have its own flair. Whereas Undertale has more of a dark fantasy look, in this game it has more of a dark techno look, with some fantasy mixed in with good measure. And to make the graphics of this game stand out even more, you also have 3D models mixed in, which for the most part, it looks really good. Which brings me to my next thing that I want to mention is the fact that this game runs on Unity, whereas Undertale was made using the Yo-Yo Game Maker engine. And while Yo-Yo Game Maker ain't a bad engine, you just can't beat Unity, because Unity has a lot more features, and you're able to do a whole lot more with Unity than you would with Yo-Yo Game Maker, such as using 3D models. Now, there is one big issue that I have with this game. One of those issues being the fact that when I try to use the analog stick, the game sometimes doesn't recognize my inputs, and my character sort of just jitters around. Also, in order to run, you have to double tap in that direction. And for some reason, when I try to use the analog, it just does not want to work for me. So I have to use the D-pad. Which, if you've played with an Xbox One controller long enough, you would know that the D-pad sucks ass. Also, for some reason, I feel like the movement controls feel a little bit clunky, which is sort of a complaint that I have with Undertale as well. Yet, I believe that Undertale's movements are just a little bit smoother than this game's. So hopefully they can fix this with a simple patch. Or better yet, why not have the character move in all 8 directions? Which I think would make it a whole lot better. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the custom battle feature, which allows you to upload your very own custom battles for people to play through. And while that really does sound like a good feature to have, yet sadly I'm having trouble running this feature. For some reason, Unity just keeps crashing on me when I try to open up the program, which unfortunately that may be because of my graphics card not being able to handle Unity all that good. Now, I was able to play through one custom battle, which it's the only custom battle that's available right now, but here's the biggest issue with this feature. It's the fact that this feature doesn't run in the same window. Instead, it opens up another window which opens up the custom battle mode. And that's why my computer just cannot handle this, because when you have 2 Unity programs running at the same time, it tends to put a lot of stress on my CPU. So unless they're able to fix this where you can open it all on the same window, unfortunately, I can't really do much with this mode. But hey, if you have a powerful PC and you're creative, I would give this mode a try. So all in all, I really enjoy Everhood. I think that it's a fantastic game. While the graphics and presentation of the game sort of reminds me of Undertale, It does manage to be its own thing by having a unique battle system and a fully realized world that deserves to be explored and expanded on. The characters are quirky as they are funny, and you'll just get a kicker out of the jokes and humor of this game. So in all honesty, you owe it to yourself to check out Everhood. You can purchase this game on the Steam store for $9.99. You also get the bundle with the soundtrack for $17.08. And also, this game is available on the Nintendo Switch, which means that this game is on the go and on the flow. Links will be available in the description. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like, as well as subscribe to this channel for more video game reviews in the future. Anyways, this has been PC, signing off.